King of my life, I crown thee now. Thine shall the glory be. Lest I forget thy thorn crown brow, lead me to Calvary. Lest I forget Gethsemane, lest I forget thine agony, lest I forget thy love for me. Lead me to Calvary.
Praise the Lord.
Praise the Lord.
Today we are reflecting on the fourth word of Jesus on the cross. My God, why have you forsaken me? We find it in St. Matthew chapter 27 verse 46. Matthew 27, 46. Eli, Eli, Lemah, Sabactani. This is the key Aramaic expression of my God, why have you forsaken me? Again, this is a quotation from Psalm 22 verse 1. Psalm 22 verse 1. Psalm 22 is a messianic psalm. It has got a lot of references about the suffering of the Messiah. So it's a messianic psalm. And Jesus quotes the first verse of that psalm. That means he is going to take upon himself the same pain of the psalmist underwent. The psalmist, when he was despised and abused by his own enemies and adversaries, he expressed all his feelings before the Lord, and he felt as if abandoned even by God. Then he cried before the Lord. This cry of abandonment was not out of despair but out of hope. That is why he called, my God, my God. Jesus also cried out from the cross, my God, why have you abandoned me? This was not a cry of despair. It was not a cry came from depression, but it was a cry and voice came from hope and the trust in the Lord. The psalmist later on expresses his own trust, his own belief in the power of God. God is going to be my rescuer. He is going to do justice for me. Now Jesus cried, my God, there is such an intimate relationship between Jesus and the Father. So he felt, even if he felt abandoned, he does not forget about that intimate love of the Father. So that is why he called, my God, why have you forsaken me? He was taking upon himself all the pains of people who feel lonely and abandoned. You know, when we are rejected and abandoned, we feel so lonely. When we are rejected by others, when we are abandoned by others, the first experience is that we feel so lonely. We don't see anybody with us. Second, this abandonment is an awareness that I am worthless, I am useless. You know, when I am of any use, people will not abandon me. When they find that I am useless, I am worthless, it is then people abandon me. So feeling of loneliness, feeling of abandonment actually results in the conviction and awareness that I am useless, I am worthless. You know, you might have seen some abandoned buildings. They are abandoned because they are not good for dwelling. We might have gone to uh, dumping sites or dumping yards where old cars and abandoned were there in the yard because the owners found that they are no more useful and it is useless to keep them. You might have gone to places where the things are, the garbage is being collected and brought together, and all those the garbage are abandoned things. But at the same time, sometimes you will see some people, old people, going through these abandoned, deserted things, and they sort out and they seek for some plastics or some metals. They collect them and they take them to the market and they sell it as scraps and they get some money. So for those people, even those abandoned things are precious, so they seek for it and they collect them and they sell them, because even if it was abandoned by the former owners, these poor people find them useful. So in the same way, we may feel that we are useless, we are abandoned, we are worthless in times of that loneliness. Sometimes the parents, where they feel abandoned by the children, that is why they are taken to old age homes and nursing homes or care homes, and the children are not ready to take care of them. When these parents feel that we are abandoned by the children, they feel when we were healthy, when we had job, when we are able to earn money, when we are of helpful to them, when we are useful to them, they wanted us. Now they don't want us. So these parents feel a lot of uselessness. We are not worthy, we are not of any value. That is why they have abandoned us. But at the same time, those charitable organizations run by the church, when we accept them and give them a facility to live a dignified life, they feel, yes, we are wanted. So the church shows that even if the parents are abandoned by the children, you are precious to God, so that is why we take care of you. So the parents can feel abandoned by the children. When they feel abandoned, they feel that we are useless, we are worthless. The same way, the couples, the divorced couples, separated couples also feel, now my spouse, my husband, my wife, they do not want me, I am useless, I am of no value to him, value to her. This is why very often the divorce take place or separation take place. If I know that my spouse is valuable to me, my spouse is so precious to me, will never abandon that person. There is a Talmudic story. The title of the story is Happy Divorce. One couple who lived so many years wanted to divorce, and they went to one Hebrew rabbi, a Jewish rabbi, and told him, we want to divorce, we cannot live together anymore, so we are going to divorce. Then the rabbi said, okay, you can celebrate the divorce as you celebrated your wedding day. As you celebrated wedding day, you can celebrate your divorce. So they went back home, they started celebrating. Before the celebration, the husband promised the wife, when you go home, you can take whatever valuable thing we have in this house. You can take whatever valuable thing in this house. Whatever it may be, I don't mind. So they celebrated. During the celebration, the husband was made fully drunk. When he was fully drunk, the wife asked the servants to carry him to the house of the wife as she went to her own parents. In the morning, when he woke up, he found that he was in the house of the wife. So he was wondering why. So he asked the wife, why you took me here? Then the wife said, in the evening before the celebration, you told me I can take anything valuable, anything precious from this house. For me, you are most precious. That is why I took you with me. Then the husband changed his mind and found that I am so precious. for the wife, so he decided to again live together with the wife. So for her, the husband was more precious than anything, even pearls and precious ornaments. When we are divorced, when we are separated, we feel that we are abandoned, we are useless, we are worthless. But Jesus assures us that we are precious before Him, as we read in the book of Isaiah, chapter 43, verse 4. We are so precious to Him. When we feel abandoned, there is some spontaneous and unconscious process that will be going on in our life. We want to escape from loneliness. Nobody wants to remain in loneliness. When we feel loneliness, we have the tendency to escape from loneliness. There are two types of loneliness. One is called forced loneliness. Second one is called existential loneliness. Forced loneliness is caused by abandoned by somebody else whom we love, whom we care for. When we are abandoned by other people, we are forced to experience loneliness. That is forced loneliness. When we have this forced loneliness, when we undergo forced loneliness, we have the tendency to escape from loneliness. When we try to escape from loneliness, it can lead us to negative things and positive things. Negative things, we can fall into despair. Sometimes we can fall into bad habits like drinking, drug addiction, such like substance abuse. But you can also develop positive behavior pattern. For example, one day one religious sister told me, "Father, I cannot sit all alone. Loneliness is most painful for me. So what I do, I will always help others. I go around and help others." So that's community thinks that I am helping others out of my goodwill, out of my charity. But I am doing this just because I don't want to feel lonely. I want to be of any value to others. That is why I am going around and doing the charitable activities. But deep inside me, I feel so lonely. Then I told her, even if it is out of your feeling of loneliness, if you are able to help others, if you are able to be of any good to others, if you are charitable towards others, God is using that loneliness for something good. So that loneliness is being used by the Lord to make you more available for others, more charitable towards others. So she was able to accept it. So this kind of compensation can be seen when we have this forced loneliness. There is an existential loneliness. Existential loneliness is there in every human being, because nobody will fully be satisfied with anybody else, the company of anybody else. We'll always have that existential loneliness. That existential loneliness is allowed by God in order that we may seek God, in order that we may experience His presence in our life. Sometimes, even if we have got a lot of people around us, still we can feel lonely. That loneliness is caused by God. That is called existential loneliness. In that existential loneliness, we'll seek God, we find God. And this, God can lead us into this awareness of the existential loneliness even through the deserted experience or rejection by others. For example, one man in a very joking way told me, "Father, when I got married, when I was in the church for the sacrament of marriage, to get married, the son of that carpenter was before me, but I could not seek him because in front of me I could see the priest with all these shining vestments and the water surveys, and besides me, my wife was there and all relatives were there, all my friends were there. Even if the son of the carpenter was there in front of me, in the midst of that liturgical celebration, I was unable to see him and discern him. Then after the wedding, we went for reception. The son of the carpenter was there, but I could not see him because I was surrounded by my relatives and friends. A lot of music and dancing and celebration was going on. I could not see him. After the wedding reception and everything, we went home, and for 2-3 weeks we had reception in the houses of our relatives and friends. We had celebrations. In the midst of that, the son of the carpenter was there, but I could not meet him because around me there were so many other people. Then we started living together. We were so happy in the early years of marriage, but slowly disagreement started growing amongst us. We started quarreling. We started fighting each other. One day my wife left me. She told me, I don't want you anymore. I cannot live with you anymore. So she went to her own house. That day I was alone in my room. Alone in my room. Then the son of the carpenter was there. I could see him. I could see the son of the carpenter who was with me because there was nobody to hide him, nobody to hinder him. That day I found that son of the carpenter. So he presented in a very funny way, but there is some truth in that. When we are surrounded by others, when we are accepted by others, we may not see the son of the carpenter, Jesus, the Son of God, who is with us. But when everybody leaves us, when we are lonely, when we are alone, it is then we encounter him, it is then we hear his words. Even if a mother forgets you, I will never forget you. Your name is engraved on my palm. Isaiah 49, 15 and 16. So it is, sometimes this forced loneliness can lead us into awareness of the existential loneliness. Then we see God. It is in this loneliness we encounter God. As Elijah the prophet encountered God in the cave on Mount Horeb, as we read in the book of 1 Kings chapter 19, he encountered God in that loneliness when he was abandoned by everybody. When Moses was before the burning bush, he was alone. When he was alone, it is that loneliness he experienced that the presence of God, or God, he encountered God. So it is in loneliness we encounter God. So sometimes our forced loneliness can lead us into awareness of our existential loneliness. So today, as Jesus cried aloud, my God, why have you forsaken me? Let us believe that Jesus took upon himself that feeling of loneliness, unwantedness, feeling that we are useless, we are worthless. And Jesus took upon himself all our pains and did reparation for us. And we can look unto him when we experience such kind of loneliness, how he encountered that loneliness, how he faced that loneliness. It will give us hope in our life.
And when I walk through deep waters, I know that you will be with me. And when I'm standing in the fire, I will not be overcome. And when I walk through deep waters, I know that you will be with me. And when I'm standing in the fire, I will not be overcome. Through the valley of the shadow, oh, I will not fear, 'cause I am not alone. Yes, I am not alone. You will go before me. You will